Dear students, in this class I am going to talk about the two types of systems. One is continuous time system and the discrete time system. After this continuous time and the discrete time systems, I am going to talk about the static and the dynamic systems. As I said in the previous classes, the definition of the system is very simple. System is a physical device which process the one or more signals, and it accomplish a function and it generate the response, that is nothing but the output in accordance with the input signal. So system may be anything. We have the many examples for the system. In the previous class I have given the examples for the system, so I am not going to discuss the general examples for the system. Now I am going for the classifications of the system. In the last class we also studied the classification of system. Around five types of systems we have listed, in which two we are going to study in this particular video. The first one is a continuous time system and discrete time system. First classification, that is continuous time and the discrete time system. So I am going to give the definition for the continuous time system. I am going to explain the block diagram of continuous time system, and after that I am going to explain the general examples for the continuous time system, and similar to that I am going to explain the same for the discrete time system also. So after the completion of the continuous and the discrete time systems, we are going to study the various properties. Based on those properties, how the systems can be categorized, and we are going to discuss. So first one, I am going with the continuous time system. A system is a continuous time system in which it transforms the continuous time input signal x of t into the continuous time output signal. Very simple. A system is said to be continuous time system. A system said to be continuous time system which has to deal with completely continuous time signals only. That means what? Input is continuous time signal and the output is also the continuous time signal. That is, x of t is the input or excitation or the source. For that input, if the system generates the continuous time output signal, that is y of t, then that type of system is named as it is continuous time system. X of t, it is a representation, mathematical representation of continuous time, and y of t is also the mathematical representation of the continuous time signals. Here the thing is very simple. If a system completely deals with the continuous time signals only, then that system is named as it is continuous time system. That system is named as continuous time system. A system which completely deals with the continuous time signals, that is input is continuous time, then the output is also the continuous time, then that system is named as it is a continuous time system. What does meaning of the continuous time? If a signal is having the amplitude, if the signal is defined at every instant of time, then that signal is named as continuous time signal. If that type of signal is applied as an input, then the output is also the same. Output is continuous with respect to the time, or in the output as also, if we have the signal at every instant of time, then that system is named as continuous time system. The best example for the continuous time systems are the amplifiers, filters, integrators, differentiators, etc. Here we are going with the block diagram of the continuous time system. Here it is a continuous time system which completely deals with the continuous time signals only. so that input, this is a input, we are applying input, we are applying, that is x of t, and it is accepted by the continuous time system. As the name suggests, it is a continuous time, so that it processes that continuous time system, continuous time signal, so that it delivers the output, that is nothing but it is a response, and it response, our output is nothing but it is y of t. X of t and y of t both are continuous time signals only. That means what? This system is designed to process only continuous time signals, then that system is named as continuous time system. So mathematical representation of this system will be like this. Now we have the y of t, it is nothing but output. In what way we got the output? We got the output due to the system accepted the input signal. That signal has undergone with the many manipulations. That means what? Some operations are applied on the input signal inside the system, so that y of t is nothing but it is operations on input signal. Operations on input signal, that is input signal is x of t. We can write this is in short form y of t is equals to, we can write that is transfer function applied on x of t. Some functions applied on the input signal inside the system, due to that operation, due to that functions, we got the output is y of t. From the block diagram and the definition, it is clear that a system which is completely deals with the continuous time signals, then that system is named as it is a continuous time system. The best examples for the continuous time system are the first one, I can take that example is amplifier. If you go with the amplifier is the best example, and some filter circuits is also the best examples for the continuous time systems. And if you take the integrators and the differentiators, also the best examples for the continuous time system. Anyway, I am going to take the amplifier. I am going to take the example of the filter. I am going to take the example of the filter here. For example, we have studied the rectifiers with the filters in the basic electronics or electronic devices. For example, if it is a filter, assume that if it is a filter to which we applied the input is pulsating DC, like this DC, and due to the filter operations, filter is designed with the two components, that is inductor and capacitor. Due to that inductor and capacitor, we can get the output is it is unregulated DC. This is the output we can get. This now the filter we can call it is a system to which we applied a signal, that is pulsating DC signal, and it is a continuous time only, that is x of t, and we got the output is unregulated DC, that is y of t. Both are continuous time signals only. That means what? This system is completely processed the continuous time signals only. That is designed to operate with the continuous time signals. Then that system is named as continuous time system. This is pulsating DC and this is the unregulated DC, so that y of t is equals to what? Y of t is nothing but transfer function applied on x of t. What is the transfer function operation here? It has to avoid the ripple content. In the pulsating DC such that it will give the unregulated DC. What is the function of the transfer function? In case of filter circuit here, the transfer function will avoid the ripple, so that it will remove the ripple. The function of the transfer function here, it will remove the ripple, that is unwanted AC content will be removed. AC content will be removed from the pulsating DC, so that we can get the output is, it is the unregulated DC. The best example we have given, that is for the continuous time system, that is the filter. If you take the filter is an electronic circuit. It is designed with the capacitors and inductor, and both are connected in meaningful way to remove the AC content from the pulsating DC. So that we have applied the pulsating DC as an input for the filter, so that the filter as the filter property that is going to remove the AC content, so that output will be the unregulated DC, that is smoother than the input signal. But if you compare both the input and output signal, input is not at all equal to the output signal, but both are continuous time only. That means what? For every instant in the input, at every instant of time there is a signal. In the output also, at every instant of time there is a signal. That means what? If a system is completely deals with the continuous time signals, then that system is named as continuous time system. Mathematically we can write the y of t is equals to transfer function applied on x of t. Then this is a continuous time system. Then I am going for the next system, that is a discrete time system. If you are good at the definition and the block diagram of the continuous time system, it is very simple to understand the discrete time system. Discrete time system definition I am going. A discrete time system is one which transforms the discrete time input signals into the discrete time output signal. That means what? Here we have the input signal is x of n, and it is a mathematical representation of discrete time signals, and this transform, this is a, if this is a discrete time system, it transform the discrete time signal input into the discrete time signal output. This is the input, we can call this is x of n, and it is input. Input is also called as excitation, also called as a source. And if I am giving the input is discrete time signal, then the output is also the discrete time in nature, but it is the new signal compared to the input signal. Then that system is named as a discrete time system. Discrete time system, a system which completely deals with the discrete time signals, then that system is named as a discrete time system. This input is x of n, output is y of n. These are the mathematical representation of the discrete time signals. Here x of n represents the amplitude of the signal, where n is the independent variable. We can call it is an integer. So that here we have given the input is x of n, output is y of n. If a system transforms the discrete time input signals and it delivers the discrete time output signals, then that system is named as a discrete time system. Definition is very, very simple. A system which completely deals with the discrete time signals, then that system is named as discrete time signal system. And if you have the doubts about the discrete time signals, then I am giving some examples for the discrete time signal. This is what? It is n, and this is x of n. We know that n must be represented on the x-axis and x of n must be represented on y-axis. This is what? It is a discrete time signal. See this one? This signal is defined at a discrete instant of time only. It is defined at the discrete instant of time. Then this signal is named as discrete time signal. Whereas continuous time signal, at every instant of time there is a signal, but here at some particular instant of time or certain instant of time only we have the signal. And if a system is completely processed this type of signals means discrete time signals, then that system is named as a discrete time system. Then here I can go with the block diagram of this discrete time system. This is the input or the excitation, and it is a discrete time system, and output is also the discrete time, but it is not exactly the same of the input signal, this output is also sometimes called as the response. So that the mathematical representation of this will be y of n is equals to some transfer function applied on x of n. Transfer function applied on x of n. This transfer function will be decided by the type of the system which is used. If this system is used to give the delay in the input signal in the same discrete in nature, so that this transfer function is going to give the delay, it is going to assign the delay in the output signal. So that transfer function is nothing but it is a function which is defined by the particular system. It is defined by the system. Based on the system behavior only, this transfer function can be decided, and based on the transfer function we can expect the one particular response, that is nothing but output. The best example for the discrete time systems, if you go with the microprocessors, semiconductor memories, shift registers, all these are the best examples for the discrete time system. First one is what? It is microprocessors and the microcontrollers are the best example for the discrete time system. Then another one is the semiconductor memories. If you go with the semiconductor memories, RAM, PRAM and read-only memory and the EPRAM, all these are the best examples for the discrete time system. Semiconductor memories, these are semiconductor memories. And the next one is the best example for the discrete time system, that is shift registers are the best examples for the discrete time systems. Anyway, we are going to study microprocessor, microcontroller, semiconductor memories, shift registers will be covered in this digital electronics, and this will be covered in the processors and controllers. This is about the continuous time systems and the discrete time systems. Here most continuous time systems can be analyzed. Here the most continuous time systems can be analyzed or processed or looked upon more comfortably with the discretization, because the revolution of IC technology, things are possible now to look at the discrete time signals only. That means what? Compared to the continuous time signals, so we can have the more advantages from the discrete time systems, because by using the discrete time system we can have the possibility to see the output at every discrete value of the time, at every discretization value of the time. This is due to the revolution of the IC technology, revolution in the IC technology. So now, so far we have studied the two system. One is continuous time system, and the next one is discrete time system. We have continuous time systems and the discrete time systems we have studied. These continuous time systems and the discrete time systems further classified based on their properties. These are the basic two types of system. What are those? Continuous time and the discrete time. And these continuous time systems and the discrete time system furthermore classified based on their properties. These are the 6 properties. Based on these 6 properties, further these are classified into these 6 more categories. First one is linearity, so that system will be linear system and a non-linear system. Next one is dynamicity, that is what? Static system and dynamic system. Causality, causal system and non-causal system. Time variance, time variant system, time invariant system. Stability, stable system, unstable system. Invertibility, this is we can call it is invertible systems and non-invertible systems. Invertible systems and non-invertible. So with the discussion of the 6 more classifications, this unit will be successfully completed. Anyway, in this video I am going to talk about the one more type of the system, that is nothing but it is the based on the property of dynamicity, that systems are classified as static systems and a dynamic system. Now we have to study the static systems and the dynamic system. In the next I am going to talk about the one particular system based on the property, that is dynamicity, and based on the dynamicity we can categorize the systems are into the static and the dynamic. Now I am going to talk about the static and the dynamic systems. So now I am going with the static and dynamic system. This is the static and dynamic. For example, definition, I am going with the static one. Static one, I am going with the definition, that is here, static system. Definition: if a system output or a response is purely dependent on the input signals only, that is present input signals only, then that system is named as a static system. That means what? If I give the inputs, immediately that will generate the output based on the given input signals only. That means what? The output doesn't depends upon the past values of the inputs and the past values of future values of the output, so that it is purely dependent on the present input signals, then that system is named as static system. Then I am giving the definition: a system is said to be static, in other words we can call it as memoryless, if the response is due to the present input signals alone. If the output is due to the present input signals alone, then that system is named as a static system or a memoryless system. Otherwise, it is a dynamic system. If a system output is dependent on not only on the present input signals but also on the past input signals, then that system is named as it is the dynamic system or memory system. So this definition is very clear. A system is said to be static or memoryless if the response is due to, response is nothing but output is due to the present input signal alone. That is, for a static or memoryless system, the output at any instant of time depends on only the input applied at that instant of time only. Output is dependent at any instant of time, let t is dependent on the input input is applied at that instant of time, then that system is named as it is the static system. Otherwise, if the system output is dependent on the past or future values of input, then that is called as a dynamic system. For example, see this one. Here I am going with the definition of the static system. Assume that it is a system to which I have given the x of t as an input that is generated y of t. X of t is we have given is at t is equals to at 10 seconds. Assume that t is equals to 10th second we have given the input. At the same output, if the output is due to the x of t alone, that is given at time t is equals to 10 seconds, then that is named as a static system or memoryless system. If this output depends on the previous inputs, that means what? Here this system is operated previously with some inputs. If to have this output, that the previous inputs also needed, then that system is called as a memory system, because that previous values has to be stored somewhere, so that it requires to have the memory. Then that systems are named as these dynamic systems. The best example for the dynamic systems are we can call them as sequential circuits in the digital electronics. In the sequential circuits in the digital electronics, previous inputs also needed to generate the y of t. Here, in this case, in static case, y of t is purely dependent on x of t only. It is present output and it is present inputs. If y of t is a present output, it is not only dependent on x of t, it is a present input. If it is also dependent on the previous input, that is x of minus t, and if it is also dependent on the future value, that is x of t plus 1. If t plus 1 is a present input signal and t minus 1 is a previous input, t plus 1 is a future input. If the output is dependent on the previous input and the future input, then that system is named as it is a dynamic system or a memory system. Then I'll go with some example. And go with some example. For example, I'm having a system whose output is y of t is equals to, that is 2 into x of t. We got the output is what? We have a system to which we have given the x of t. It got generated the y of t. Y of t is equals to twice of x of t. Then we have to go with. Then substitute various values for the t. If t is equals to 0, then y of 0 is equals to 2 into x of 0. That means what? This output, 0 output, y of 0 is the output at t is equals to 0, due to the at t is equals to 0 input signal. Both are same, only present to present. Then if I go with the y of minus 1, I am assuming this is y of minus 1, 2 into x of minus 1. That means what? Whatever the t value is there in the output, that means what? This y of minus 1 is the output at t is equals to minus 1. At t is equals to minus 1, due to the input at t is equals to minus 1. Both are same. That means what? If the system output is purely dependent on the present input signals alone, then that is named as it is a static system. Then I'll go with the one more example. Then I'm going with the one more example. Y of t is equals to, I'm going with 2 into x of t square. Then go with the various values for the t. Then I'm going with the t is equals to 0. Then what is the output? At t is equals to 0 second, then output we got generated due to the system, that is y of 0, that is 2 into x of t square means 0. That means what? Here this output is generated at t is equals to 0. This due to the input is applied at t is equals to 0. Then I am going with the next case. Y of 2 I am going with. Y of 2 I am going with 2 into x of 2 square means 4. That means what? We got the output at t is equals to 0. We got the output at t is equals to 0 by applying the input signal at t is equals to 4 second. That means what? This t is equals to 4 is the future to the x t is equals to 2. This is 2 and this is 4. 4 is the future to the 2, so that the output is dependent not only on the present input signals but also the future input signal. This t is equals to 4 is the future to the t is equals to 2, so that it is a future value. The point is very clear here. Y of 2 is nothing but it is the output got generated at t is equals to 0. due to the input is applied at t is equals to 4. Then plot this t is equals to 2 and 4. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. See this one? We got generated the output y of 2 here due to the x of 4 here. Y of 2 and this is x of 4. So that this x of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 is the future to the y of 2, so that this y of 2 is not only dependent on the present inputs but also dependent on the future inputs. Then that system is named as a dynamic system. Here the point is very clear. If a system output is purely dependent on the present input signals alone, then that system is named as a static system. If the system output is not only dependent on the present input signals but also dependent on the past and the future input signals, then that system is named as it is the static system. The best example, so we have discussed so far. If you go with the general example for any static system, if you take the any resistor, any resistive electrical circuit is a static system, whereas the electrical circuit is having the inductor or capacitor is a dynamic system. So best example for the static system, best example for the static system is the resistor. That means what? It is a resistor to which if it is conducting any current, and due to the current operation only, it is going to oppose that current. If you apply the current, it is going to make the function based on that particular time only. If the current increases, resistance is going to decrease. If the current decreases, resistance is going to increases. That is V is directly proportional to I, and V is equals to IR, the famous law. This is called as Ohm's law. The best example for the static system is a resistor. And the dynamic systems are inductors and capacitors. Inductors and the capacitors are the best examples for the dynamic system because they store some value. Inductor stores the value in terms of inductance in the units of Henry. Capacitor stores the energy in the form of voltage, in the form of volts. Capacitor is used to store the charges in the form of voltage, and these are storing. That means what? These are memory devices. So that if a system is a memory device, that is called as dynamic one. If a system is memoryless, then that is called as a static one. Likewise, we can go with the analysis of the static and the dynamic system. With the one more example, I am going to explain the static and the dynamic system by making use of the discrete time signals. For example, I am having the discrete time system. This is a discrete time system to which I have applied the input signal is x of n, because it is a discrete time system, and the output I got, that is y of n, and the y of n is equals to, I got the equation y of n is equals to x of n by 2. X of n by 2. If it is static, then wherever I got the output at that particular instant of time only, we have to be applied the input signal. Then I am going with the various values for n. If n is equals to 0, that will be y of 0 is equals to x of 0 by 2, 0. That means what? If I got the output at t is equals to 0, due to the input is applied at the t is equals to 0. Then I am going with the y of 1 now. Y of 1, that will be x of 1 by 2. That means what? I got the output at t is equals to 1. I got the output at t is equals to 1 due to the input at t is equals to 1 by 2. That means what? Plot, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 1 by 2. That means what? I got the output. I got the output at t is equals to 1. I got the output at t is equals to 1. With the applying the input is at t is equals to 1 by 2. This is the previous input. If it is a static one, I have to get the y of 1 at the x of 1 only. But I got the y of 1 at the x of 1 by 2. So that this is a 1 and this is 1 by 2. If we compare this 1 by 2 to the 1, it is the previous input to generate the present state output. So that this system is named as it is a dynamic system. Likewise, we can test any system whether that is a static or dynamic system. With this, the 2 types of systems are completed out of the 6. In coming 2 more classes, we are going to complete the remaining 2 systems, remaining 4 systems, which are causal system, non-causal system, and the linear system, non-linear system, stable system, unstable system, and the next one is we can invertible system, non-invertible systems. All these systems we can study in the 2 more classes. So with the 2 classes, this first unit will be 100% completed without leaving single topic and without leaving single doubt, I think so. So that students, I am requesting you to write the notes from the shared videos. Try to listen each and every class and try to write the notes from the shared videos, so that this will be helpful while you are going for the preparation for the external examinations. Don't waste the time. Don't go outside. Be in the home and take care of your family. Thank you, students. Thank you so much. Thank you.